Beloved child of the Eternal, pause here and breathe, for something sacred is happening in your life. You may not fully see it, you may not fully understand it, but heaven has begun to accelerate the things that once felt impossible for you. This message does not come to interest your mind, it comes to awaken your spirit. I am Michael, and I speak now because you have entered a spiritual season where delays will break, where stagnation will end, and where the slow, heavy chapters of your life will finally give way to movement, clarity, and divine speed. For too long you have walked through seasons where everything felt suspended, as though time moved forward, but your life did not. You prayed, you hoped, you waited, and sometimes you wondered if heaven had grown silent. But heaven was not silent. Heaven was aligning. Beloved, you were not delayed because you were forgotten. You were not waiting because you did something wrong. You were in a season of preparation, a season of strengthening, a season where your heart was being refined to hold the blessings, assignments, and opportunities that would have been too heavy for an earlier version of you. Acceleration can only come once the spirit is ready for the path ahead. And now, you are ready. This is why you feel shifts inside you, why your dreams feel different, why your intuition has strengthened, why your relationships are shifting, why your spirit feels restless yet hopeful. These are signs that you have stepped out of delay and into divine movement. Beloved soul, there are moments in a lifetime when heaven decides that what once took years will now take months. What once took months will now take weeks. And what once took weeks will now unfold in days. This is not fantasy. This is divine timing revealing itself. You have carried disappointment like a quiet weight, kept hope alive when it felt foolish, endured seasons that tried to break your trust in goodness. Yet even in your lowest moments, some small part of you kept believing. That part, that flicker of faith, has opened the gates of acceleration. For heaven does not respond to perfection, but to faith. And beloved, your faith, even in its weakness, even in its trembling, has reached the throne. Now, as acceleration begins, things in your life will shift quickly. People who slowed your growth may fall away abruptly. Situations that felt impossible will suddenly open. The heaviness you carried for years will lift without explanation. You will feel doors closing without warning, not because you are losing, but because heaven is freeing your path from obstacles you can no longer afford to carry. Acceleration requires clarity. Acceleration requires space. Acceleration requires surrender. This is why the things that once felt comfortable now feel too small. It is why your heart is pulling away from old cycles and old versions of yourself. It is why your spirit is craving silence, reflection, and truth. These are the final signs that the season of delay has ended. Beloved, when heaven accelerates you, it does not push you. It pulls you. You will feel drawn toward the right people, the right places, the right opportunities, the right timing. Paths will align without effort. Ideas will form without force. Resources will appear without strain. You will feel guided, supported, accompanied. Acceleration is not chaos. It is divine order moving swiftly. Understand this. You are not stepping into a season of random blessings. You are stepping into a season of appointed blessings. Blessings that were written for you long ago. Blessings that waited for your spirit to mature. Blessings that could not come early because you needed to become the person who could protect and sustain them. And now, you have become that person. Beloved soul, this is the beginning of a chapter where heaven works for you faster than fear can work against you, where destiny catches up with the years that were stolen, where lost time is redeemed, and where what was once slow now begins to flow with grace and inevitability. I, Michael, stand with you in this acceleration. I go before you to clear obstacles. I walk beside you to strengthen your spirit. I follow behind you to protect what is rising. You are not entering this season alone. You are entering it with an army of light. Beloved child of the Eternal, now that acceleration has begun to stir within your spirit, you must understand what this season will feel like. For acceleration is not simply heaven moving quickly. It is heaven reshaping everything around you so that nothing can hinder what is coming. When heaven accelerates a life, the soul becomes highly sensitive, the heart becomes deeply aware, and the atmosphere of your entire existence begins to shift. You are not imagining these changes. They are the fingerprints of divine movement. I am Michael, and I speak with the clarity of one who sees your path from beginning to end. You are entering a chapter where things that once felt still or stuck will begin to flow. Do not fear the unfamiliar sensation of sudden change. This is heaven freeing you from the weight of stagnation that held you in place for far too long. You prayed for breakthrough, but breakthrough often arrives wrapped in disruption. You prayed for movement, but movement requires release. You prayed for clarity, but clarity requires the removal of what confuses. Beloved, in this season of divine acceleration, relationships will shift. Not all who started with you can continue with you. Some connections were assigned only to past chapters, not future ones. And so, people may drift away without warning, not because of fault or failure, but because their purpose in your journey is complete. Do not chase what heaven has released. Do not mourn what the Eternal has gently removed. Every relational shift in this season is intentional. Those who leave make space for those aligned with your rising. Acceleration does not allow you to carry unnecessary emotional weight. You will feel your heart outgrowing old patterns. Conversations that once entertained you now feel draining. Commitments that once defined you now feel restrictive. This is not you becoming distant. This is you becoming aligned. For when heaven prepares you to move faster, he first frees you from what slows your spirit. You will notice your intuition strengthening. What once felt confusing will become clear. Situations that used to cloud your judgment will now expose their truth quickly. You will feel a knowing inside you, a quiet but unmistakable sense of direction. This knowing is not imagination. It is divine guidance awakened. In seasons of acceleration, heaven speaks more directly, and the soul becomes more receptive. This is why your inner world feels sharper, lighter, aware. It is heaven tuning your spirit to hear without distortion. Beloved, acceleration also affects your decisions. You will no longer make choices based on fear or habit. You will choose based on alignment, resonance, and spiritual truth. You will feel your priorities shifting, your desires transforming, your values deepening. What once mattered will lose its grip. What once frightened you will no longer intimidate you. This is because acceleration requires authenticity. Heaven cannot speed what is false. Heaven accelerates only what is aligned with purpose. You may also experience sudden endings, doors that shut abruptly, opportunities that dissolve without explanation. These are not failures. These are divine protections. Acceleration demands precision, and anything misaligned with destiny is removed swiftly. You may not understand these endings in the moment, but in time, gratitude will take the place of confusion. Every door that closes is clearing your path for a greater opening. Beloved soul, acceleration brings ease to what once felt impossible. Obstacles that seemed immovable begin to crumble. Solutions appear from unexpected places. People arrive at the exact moment they are needed. The Eternal is orchestrating details behind the scenes, aligning circumstances so tightly that even the smallest steps begin to feel guided. This orchestration is not random. This is the signature of divine acceleration. Your spirit will feel lighter in this season, not because life becomes easier, but because your alignment with God becomes deeper. You will feel supported, not by willpower, but by grace. You will feel lifted, not by effort, but by divine momentum. Things you tried to force for years will now unfold naturally. Things you begged for will come without struggle. Things you chased will begin to find you. This is the miracle of acceleration. What once required striving now arrives through surrender. Beloved, you may also feel moments of fear as life begins to move faster than your understanding. This fear is natural, for the mind is adjusting to what the spirit already knows. When this fear arises, do not retreat. Breathe and remember that heaven moves with intention, not chaos. Acceleration may surprise you, but it will never harm you. The Eternal does not rush. He accelerates with purpose. Every shift is measured. Every change is timed. Every blessing is placed exactly where you can receive it. I, Michael, walk before you in this season. I clear your road, guard your heart, and silence any force that attempts to slow what heaven has ordained. You will not lose what is meant for you. You will not miss what is assigned to you. You will not fall behind. You are being carried into divine timing, and nothing, on earth or in spirit, can interfere with the speed of God. In Part 3, I will reveal how divine acceleration transforms your inner world, your healing, your identity, your emotional patterns, and the way you see yourself. Everything inside you will rise to match what heaven is bringing.